Billy Gardell, thank you so much for joining us once again. You're like, a founding member of the Steelers draft show. So, all right, I know you're still
I
out
don't
on
know
the
about
West
that, but
Coast.
thanks for having me, Missy. I appreciate you.
No doubt. Anytime we get to spend with you is a bunch of good time. So explain to us what you have been up to. Catch us up on life before we talk a little draft.
Well, I just wrapped the second season of my show, Bob Hart's Abishola, and we are
Yay!
already picked up. Thank you. We are already picked up for season 3. I'm excited about that. We made it through the whole season without having to shut down because we followed all the protocols, and we only had a couple cases of COVID, but because of the way that they had it set up with testing and contact tracing, we were able to isolate that, and the show was able to continue on. The crew was amazing, and I'm very grateful, to know there's a job coming in September. So I'm happy about that. And I love the TV season starts right when football season starts. They've always synced up for me. So I love that. And then this summer is about getting my kid to college. He's going off to college.
Just crazy.
First Gardell male to make it to college. Very
All
proud of
right.
him.
Well, tell him we said congrats as well. A
I
lot of
will. Thank
exciting
you.
stuff. Okay.
Thank you.
A lot can happen in this NFL draft, as we know, every
Yeah.
single year. The Steelers have a first-round draft pick this year, unlike last year. So if
Yeah.
you are playing GM, if you're Kevin Colbert, what are you doing on day one?
Well, I would never attempt to overstep the great and powerful and wise Colbert, but here's what I missed, and this is something, I don't know if this is going to be Ben's last year or not. I don't know. He hasn't made a formal decision, right?
No.
But those things are in the air now. So to me, everybody thinks we should start looking at quarterbacks, and we should at some point. But to me, what I miss, and maybe this is just my Steelerness, but I want a big, punishing running back. I don't want a little guy who scoots to the right and gets a yard and a half or breaks one in the middle of the game. I want a guy that grinds your bones underneath the train tracks. Like I want like we need like a minibus, or we need another version of Franco. I like a punishing back. There was nothing I love more in our days, in our glory days, than having those running backs that, like, if there was 5 minutes on the clock, and even if we were up by 2, you saw them come trotting out, it was game over. It would just grind you down and break your will and make you remember that for the next time you play us. So I want a big punishing running back. And I also think having a big running back in place when it is time to transition quarterbacks, that will keep the pressure off that quarterback if you have a strong running back, if you have an option to go to that. And so, he's still going to have to learn systems and all that stuff. But I'd love to get a guy that can just slam the middle right from the start, like one of those quick impact guys. I really like that kid from Clemson. I think like that would be a pick, but I don't know if we're going to be high enough to get somebody like that. And I don't know what they're thinking either, but I'm just an armchair quarterback like everybody else. So.
Well, that's why we brought
Just
you
the
on
ends
here
are going,
for your
what we ought to
expertise.
do, Missy, I'll tell you. So we'll see what happens. Part of the fun of the draft for me is seeing what they do,
Absolutely. Okay, you mentioned Franco Harris. I know you're good buds
Yes.
with him, and on day 2,
Yes.
he is going to announce one of the Steelers draft picks. Now, are you guys such good friends that he's going to text you on the way to the podium to give you a little heads up of who that No.
No, I would never ask that of him. I'll wait for the reveal. Franco and his lovely family, Dana and Doc, I love them to death. I like Dana a little better than Franco, if we're being honest. And I'm sure he would say the same about my wife. But we get together and we talk food and we laugh and we get to see each other when we're in Pittsburgh. And I would never ask to know that information before he gets to the podium. Like I said, I kind of like watching the draft to see how wrong I am about what we're going after.
There is an adrenaline rush that comes with it. When your team is on the clock, you're kind of like, looking through the names, searching Twitter to see what's happening. I feel you on that. I love that.
Right. What are we going to do? Where are they going to go? What are they going to look at? And it usually ends up me going, why'd they do that? And then like mid-season, I'm a complete hypocrite. I'm like, see, that was a good choice.
I like that Chase
choice.
Claypool pickup, right? That's what you did last year.
Exactly. Exactly.
All right. Now, Billy, I know you're superstitious. Obviously, the pandemic
Yes.
put a wrench in any plans of getting you to a game. Did anything with
Yeah.
your superstitions change during the pandemic, or are you going to follow suit with the same things, that you usually like to do? I know it's that one towel over the one shoulder or something like that, right?
Very correct. The right shoulder. That's where
Okay.
that towel sits for emergencies. My routine here is pretty much the same. The only thing that was missing was my best friend Joey O'Connell from Penn Hills. So our adjustment was we would call during the game, or we would call before the game and at halftime to make a little chatter, and then we have to be careful with the text because I think I was either 2 seconds ahead of him or he was 2 seconds behind me. So our agreement was wait till the start of the next play before you text about the play previous. That way nobody's getting, the surprise isn't being taken away. But I think we adjusted pretty well and came through it good.
All right. We want to see where your Yinzer levels lie with a little game we have here called Start, Sit, or Cut. And our first topic is pizza toppings. Okay?
I'm in.
So you got to pick pepperoni, sausage, and extra cheese.
Well, I'm starting pepperoni. It's just old reliable. That's old reliable. Sausage, I'm going to sit because that's a situational thing. And extra cheese, I'm cutting. At this age, you can't have extra cheese.
All right, next one is cereals. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Frosted Flakes, or Honey Nut Cheerios?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch is getting cut. I can't stand cinnamon. I don't know why. I just can't do it. My wife and kid love it. They get cinnamon stuff all the time. I can't. I don't know what that's about. Honey Nut Cheerios, again, on the bench if I need you, and I'm starting Frosted Flakes.
Okay. All right, game day foods. Nachos, hot dogs, and soft pretzel.
I got to start nachos because I think that's just that. I think there's too many variations. You can run a lot of different plays with nachos, Missy. You can run chicken, you can run beef, you can run all sorts of stuff in a nacho plate. So I'd start nachos. I would sit hot dogs, and then what was the last one?
Soft pretzel.
Oh, wait. No, I got to sit soft pretzels because I like a soft pretzel. So I'd cut hot dogs.
Okay.
Sorry, hot dogs.
Well, in the soft
We wish
pretzel,
you well.
can
You're just
dunk
not
in
right
your...
for our system.
Right. Well, soft pretzel, you dunk in the nacho cheese.
There you go.
It's
Now
a
you're
combo.
talking. Now that is true Pittsburgh right there.
There you go.
Put some cheese on that pretzel.
That's the only way I like it. Okay, Pennywood rides. Thunderbolt, Racers, and the Jackrabbit.
Thunderbolt gets the start. Jackrabbit out of tradition gets to sit. The Racers I can take or leave, so I'm cutting them.
Okay. All right, Pittsburgh tunnels. I'm sorry, this is funny just saying it out loud.
Are you kidding? I love it. Go ahead.
The Fort Pitt, Liberty Tubes, or the Squirrel Hill tunnels?
Well, the tubes get the start because I think they're probably, I don't know a Yinzer that hasn't said, you got to shoot the tubes. So I don't know. I think you say that. I think that's right after Mama and Dada. You say shoot the tubes. So I give them the start. I give the sit to Squirrel Hill tunnels because I lived out in Swissville, and I'll cut Fort Pitt. That'll be the one I had to let go. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Our last one for you: the AFC North: Browns, Bengals, and Ravens.
Let's see. I gotta cut them all. I can't. I can't even pretend. Look, I'm an actor, and I can't pretend I like any of those teams. So let's be honest. Cut them.
All right, Billy. Thank you as always for joining us here on our Draft Countdown
My
show.
pleasure.
Always great to see you virtually. I hope to see you in person sometime soon as well.
Yes,
Hopefully
let's get down on that field. Let's get down on that field next year. Everybody stay safe, and let's have a great draft out there. And here we go.